This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and thanks for listening to or watching the Whine and Cheese in the Metaverses show podcast. I'm BEN68 here with my co-host Morecheese for episode number 64, recording on Friday the 23rd of December for Cheese, which is Saturday and Christmas Eve for me. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Today we had Mesmee, pronounced Mesmee or Mesmee. She's easygoing. She talked about her life outside of the metaverse, how she got into Upland, and her projects and future plans. We also talked about Upland Gnomes, Argentina soccer partnerships, Candy Cane Neighborhood Challenge, and more. Articles focused on Bitcoin prices, 4 things happening in the metaverse in December, fake-ass Pokemon court case, Metaverse has no legs, what the fuck? Meanwhile, China and South Korea are spending tens of billions.
Yeah, big money. Yes, sickos. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny episode of...
The worst show ever. That was really good.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Cheese. One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello and welcome to Whine and Cheese in the Metaverses show. This is episode number 64.
Indeed it is.
Bastard. I'm here with my co-host Ben. That's not my bed in the background. That's Santa Claus puffing on a joint. So just in case you see it, that's him. Yeah.
Santa needs to make his joint. It's all messy.
My bed's not messy. Yeah, it is. We're here with Mesmee. She is our guest host and our guest feature project today. We're going to be talking about some articles, some metaverse articles, NFTs, and we're going to be talking later on about her amazing project and node stuff. The node life. I miss F and Smoke.
Absolutely, yes. And it is Christmas Eve here in the future, so ho, 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 and almost Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I can't wear this on my head. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I just said Merry Christmas Eve. Yeah, it's not Christmas Eve yet.
Yes. Now, Cheese, I pulled a Trump.
Uh-oh.
I ripped off some artwork to make my background. I just went to I think it was Shutterstock or somewhere, and I thought, yes, I'll use that. Thank you.
You were so impressed with him, and now you're making fun of him.
Oh, I was always making fun of him. It was that was what I was impressed about, was how funny it was. So yes. If you didn't see the follow-up from last week where we had a look at what Trump had for his NFT project, well, there's been a whole controversy about them ripping off artwork. There's watermarks all over it and that sort of thing. Although I don't believe it's come to light whether that's through the AI generated art or not. So that's still yet to be seen. But yes, that was quite funny. Yes.
AI art, no IR. All right, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
He's smoking his thing again.
Toke.
I'm getting a green screen. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say there's no snow here for Christmas, so that's hence I choose the Santa on the beach theme.
There's no snow or ocean here in Arizona. There's just sand.
It's just hot as balls. Yes.
Hot as balls. Sweating my balls off.
That might be a good segue. Should we just get straight into it?
Yeah, let's get into this.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Now we're just going to blitz through this part, this early part quickly because I want to get onto Mesmee and see what she's all about. But first of all,
same.
just going to have a quick look. We got the Bitcoin chart up here. This is the monthly chart, and I think this is a pretty good damn Christmas present. Bitcoin 16,000. Yes. This start of the year we were up around the 40,000 mark. So yes.
If it
What
goes
do you?
under
What do you?
10, if it goes under 10,
well, of course, not financial advice. Do your own research. All that boring shit. I would love to see it come down and test. These resistance lines here before that big fat green candles kick in. I reckon. I wouldn't be surprised to see us down, around that 14,000.
I might have to sell a kidney or something to get in big time.
Well, I'll sell your kidneys, but I won't sell mine. I'll just keep daily.
How are you going to sell my kidney?
Well, there's the dark web. You can get all sorts of nefarious shit. No, I'm just going to keep daily dollar cost averaging all the way to the bottom, and hopefully. Yeah, I'll probably just keep daily dollar cost averaging until we get back up to the 20K mark, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll sit and hold. I don't know.
I think this will keep going down until the new year. Yeah.
Well, what's that bet? 500,000 UPX bet we've got?
No, 500 UPX. 50. It was 50 UPX. Where are all these zeros coming from?
I'm pretty sure I heard 500,000 UPX.
It's thank God it's on video.
All right.
Thank God.
What did you say? By January 15th, we were going to be green candles? Kings. And I said we're going to be reds, so we'll see.
Do you do any crypto trading, Mesmee?
Well, when everything started falling apart about, what was that, 9 months ago, I stopped putting any money into crypto and I started putting my money into Upland, and I've done better there.
Yeah, this month I made over $600, and I'm still making money off of those soccer legits. Did you go into those soccer legits?
I really didn't want to, and I just decided, forget it. I'll just try. And then next thing I know, I had all these great legits, like really high value ones. And then I couldn't find anybody to sell them because all the stores were full.
Oh yeah, Dog Romeo, he's my guy.
Well, I finally got rid of them all. I got my money back. I probably tripled my money. So I'm a little more excited about them now than I was when I first got them. But I do pretty well just in properties. So yeah.
That's good. And it's just gonna get better.
Yeah, I sold 2 overnight for it was almost $90 for the 2 properties when I woke up this morning. So I'm happy with that.
Nice. Good job. I love that. I love if you're not into legit collecting and this and that, you could still make money from it. You could still participate,
Yes. And then there's the whole aspect of that the burners legits. Like I famously didn't want to have anything to do with legits, but yeah. I've since had to use a whole bunch of burners for transfers and this, that, and the other thing too. So yes. All right, what else have we got up? I forget what I pulled up next. This is a good one. 4 things you need to know about the metaverse this month. What do you think we're in store for here? What did we have last week, Cheese? The 5 something or others about the metaverse cringe moments.
Oh yeah, that was a stupid article.
That was
4 things you need to know about the metaverse this month.
What do you reckon?
I have no idea. What do you reckon, Mesmee?
Well, it seems like we're always on the bottom of all the lists when I read metaverse articles. They talk about everybody, and then at the very bottom it says, "Oh, there's also Upland."
Yeah,
it's getting better, though. It's getting better.
I hope it's getting better. I think 4 things you need to know about the metaverse is the first 4 businesses that they talk about. The meta ventures they're talking about are not as much fun because we have but that's what I think you need to know.
You broke up a little. You broke
up a bit. I think.
I said what you need to know is Upland has the best community.
Oh yes.
So what you need to know is you can play the other ones, but Upland, we should somehow figure out why Upland isn't getting the credit it deserves.
It is getting a little more recognition though. I know we had some articles last week. Like it kind of is like no Upland, right? So it's I know, and Dirk shared something on Twitter about Upland. Fucking Santa smoking his joint is killing me. Sorry. Ben, save me. You know I get distracted.
Let's dive in. Let's see what we've got here. All right. You can't go much off the heading and the bloody stupid image they've got. So let's see. Number one. Business schools venture into the metaverse. The M in MBA does not stand for metaverse, but you may soon be able to study for an MBA via virtual reality headset. That makes sense. I mean, I did my master's degree. That was all online. So, you know, I expect that's going to be true, you know.
Yeah. But this way you'll be sitting in the actual classroom.
Yeah. Virtual campuses and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, headsets need to get way more streamlined.
And not as ugly.
Yeah, like I would love it if it was just glasses, you know?
And we will get there. That might be 2-3 years down the track, but it'll definitely get there. Well, that's boring. Business skills in metaverse. What's number 2? Gender inequality is happening in the metaverse. That's happening everywhere, isn't it? That's not a metaverse thing.
It's happening everywhere. I kind of hoped that it wouldn't happen so much in the metaverse, but it still is. And like, thank goodness I met you, Ben, because you're a pretty cool guy. But like looking at the other projects out there, it could have gone way worse. And I have been in other projects where it did go way worse, and I just kind of skipped to Malou out of there. But yeah.
I mean, it's
anything you want to say about this mess?
Flicking her tongue. I think she.
I feel like I'm going to get into dangerous territory here. Yeah, I actually I've had a couple experiences. First of all, because I'm not on camera, there's no pictures of me. Nobody knows if I'm a man or a woman, right? Mesmee. And so usually the messages I get are like, "Hey, dude, can you know," which is fine,
hey,
but everybody just assumes that you're a dude. But some of the sexism that I have witnessed from various projects really is disheartening.
Yeah.
And I actually reached out to Ben thinking that he was part of one of those projects. And then he's like, "Oh no, that's not me." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So I actually confused Ben with somebody else that I was not thrilled with how they were speaking about women. So.
Did you end up go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say, did you follow up on that?
I decided not to contact that person after I kind of cooled off a little bit.
Yeah.
I had sent a really long message, and then the next day they hadn't read it yet, and I thought I just need to breathe on this for a minute, and then I decided I stay project.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, that's how Cheese and I got kicked off. Famously, Cheese has told that story numerous times where I'm like, "Hey, bro," or something. You're like,
yeah, his first message to me was, "Hey, man."
Hey, man. Yes, that's it. It is definitely a thing. And we even had this in the UDU podcast where the winner, we just all, it was Zoe, it was Cheese, it was me. We all just naturally referred to Manu Miyoto as, you know, him and all this sort of stuff. So, you know, and she was the winner. So, yeah, it is definitely a thing. I think we've come a long way. Even just Cheese smacks the shit out of me when I slip up. So, you know.
The beginning of the song, "Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife," that has a lot to do with that. So I keep them in line.
Yeah, so I don't think that's just an unfortunate reflection of reality, not just the metaverse. So that's another kind of boring one, I guess. Not boring, but, you know, meh.
Inevitable.
Number 3, want to be a chief metaverse officer. This is what the job looks like. CMO. What is this, Cheese?
Two of whom were been labeled the world's first chief metaverse officer, helping clients. I guess kind of like seeing which metaverse or which project is going to be the one that makes it.
Well, I think you're a chief.
Out there.
You're a CMO. I'm a CMO. Mesmee's a CMO. If you're running sort of some sort of project, look at people like Eddie from Board Upland Club. You know, the stuff he's got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. Seems a bit wanky though. What do you do? I'm a CMO. Yes.
Yeah, I see a lot on people's Discord profiles where I am the CEO of the metaverse. Like, sure you are. Sure you are.
Well, we did that with the UDU in the early days of the UDU. It was, you know, you were the CEO, you were the CMO.
We had a project, like we had stuff. Like you can't just like grab a beer, get on the internet and say, hey, I'm a CEO because I'm on the metaverse.
In your mom's basement, yeah.
I wish I had a basement though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty boring. Hopefully this last one will bring it home. Number 4, motion trackers could make metaverse avatars more lifelike.
Well, that's your guy Zuck the cuck.
Zuck Muckenberg, yes. Yes.
All right, so Ben loves Zuck. That's his best friend.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It's been an absolute failure though. I mean, he has not been able to pull off what he wanted to pull off.
He pulled off some of it.
Yes.
I want to hate him, but then I see some of his stuff, and that video we saw before with him making all those faces and it coming through on the thing, like I've never seen anything where an avatar can actually mirror the real person's expressions before.
Yeah. So this thing he's talking about 6 small tags that you put on your head, wrists, ankles, and hips to copy your user movement. But that's kind of what Mark Zuckerberg's putting with Meta. That's without just all going to be contained within the headset. Yeah.
He failed with the legs.
So far, yeah.
So far.
Yes. So I certainly wouldn't be would you be in a rush to go out and stick these all over yourself?
No.
It depends. It depends on the video. Are you a video gamer, Mesmee?
I am not. No.
I was hoping you could join my cult of video gamers.
No, I mean, I've done the dancing ones and but no, in general, no. I have no interest in sticking dots on my body.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I'm with you. No interest at all.
If it was for a really cool zombie shoot 'em survival game, I would cover myself in dots.
Yeah, but
it's for like regular rigmarole, walking through a metaverse. Hey, Bob. Hey, Sally. No, I wouldn't.
But it's tech that's on borrowed time. Once the headset comes through that tracks all that just from the headset, nobody's going to be putting dots on themselves. So
yeah, tech right nowadays, like before, technology took decades to overcome. Now it's taking like days.
Yes. Well, that article sucked. Hopefully I can bring it around with the next one. All right.
It wasn't so bad.
Oh, this one looks funny.
Absurd NFT project just got taken to court by Pokemon.
And read the subheading. That's going off what we just said.
The Crypto Bros. Yeah, buddy. Again.
And this time, they're bringing you Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Join the revolution with Pokeworld, the leading play-to-earn game on Ethereum.
I saw this, and people were making fun of it because it was really so similar to Pokemon.
So similar, it's freaking a dead ripoff.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're gonna lose that court case, and good for them for taking them to court.
Yeah. Come up with your own stuff, people.
You know what's sad though? Like, they've probably already made their money, and they're probably in a country where there's no extradition treaty or whatever. And it's sure you could get taken to court, but how are they going to police it? You know?
Oh, so the stuff that they sold already on it. Yeah,
the only people that are going to get burned is the people that own the things, own that paid for the NFTs, bought the NFTs, and then can't sell it.
You know what though? Here comes. There's consequences to things. If you don't do your own research and you don't make sure that this is like affiliated, like if these are adult games. These aren't children games. You have to put real money, like, and a lot of it to get into these projects, right? So if you don't do your due diligence and look into this, then that's on you. I feel sorry for no one.
Oh, I mean, if you see this project and you're all in on it and you don't realize that this is going to end up in lawsuits, I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. That's
you make sure that Pokeworld is affiliated with Pokemon.
But look at this. Just a few months ago, we saw the company going after 6 Chinese firms that had crossed the line with their own Pokemon-like thing, and now they've got a new target. So this seems to be some kind of Australian thing. Look, Australian site Vooks noticed papers filled with the Federal Court of Australia showing the Pokemon company taking action against a company called, incredibly, Pokemon Proprietary Limited, who claimed to be making a mobile game called Pokeworld. Wow, that's incredible.
Do they show some gameplay down below? Oh, look at the polar bear.
Oh, my gosh, you get distracted easy. Let me scroll up. Pokemon seemingly based in Melbourne. So there you go. Was registered as a business and appears to be operating under the name Cotiota Studios.
Oh my God.
Here we go. To one individual. Zay, however you say that. Old mate. That sounds like a Chinese name.
Old
mate. So yeah, this is probably a Chinese national living in Australia. Yeah, good luck suing him and getting the money out. All they will probably get is the project shut down, and like I said, everybody who got involved will get burnt. So,
geez, I gotta look into that more and see, like, what's going on. Keep in contact with it.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, yeah, if you're gonna FOMO into something like that, you kind of you get what you deserve, really. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for people, but do your due diligence. The metaverse doesn't have a leg to. Where do you find all these fun things?
Hang on, you're skipping it. My gosh, hang on, let me click it.
Come on, old man.
Take it away now.
All right. The metaverse doesn't have a leg to stand on. It was a rocky year for the tech industry. To understand why, look no further than the embodied internet. I don't know what that means.
Let's find out. It only takes 4 words to sum up the absurd trajectory of the tech world in 2022. Legs are coming. There we go.
Oh, it's all about Mark. Mark. Like Marsha. Who cares? There's more metaverses out there. All right, go ahead. Yes. I'm sorry. Bent over.
This October, Meta announced an improvement to its Metaverse Horizon Worlds to show off its new feature. The company released a clip of Mark Zuckerberg, his avatar happily lifting his legs, then jumping. Previously, people who strapped on a $400 headset to explore Meta's virtual space saw avatars with floating cartoon torsos. Now they would have lower bodies too, even feet. Did Meta expect this to impress? Well, it didn't. It kind of did.
I'm impressed.
Kind of did, because nobody else is doing it. Yeah, this looks like a Meta FUD article.
Wait, don't scroll anymore. Yeah, wait, no, go back. All right. Yeah, Horizon Worlds was a glitchy ghost town. The people who did use it were creeps or children. That's so disturbing. That's so disturbing.
Yes, even though technically they're not allowed. Yes, not even Meta's own employees took to it. Yeah, we covered that previously. So yes, we do know that they're piling crap tons of money into this. But yes,
they refer to it as a janky second life that nobody wanted to be a part of.
Yes, and here we go. Here's kind of follows on from what Mesmee was saying. In the past few years, metaverse startups like Decentraland and The Sandbox grabbed venture capital interest by hyping themselves as hubs for a new NFT-fueled economy. Despite these companies' hefty valuations, they remained decidedly niche, refuting a third-party report that it had only 38 active users one day. Decentraland said it had an average of 8,000 daily active users, which is still tiny. This
is one time I am so glad that Upland was not linked in with these guys because they're absolutely dogging them. Wow.
Did you guys see what's going on with Starbucks?
No, what happened there?
So they put out a message to their Starbucks rewards members saying they were opening their own metaverse, and they would only select a few number of people to be part of the initial project. And I got an email. So I'm one of the first to see the Starbucks metaverse.
Oh, you're so lucky.
What's kind of wild though is really it's just videos of people talking, like as far as like it's educational about coffee and where they grow coffee and how they support their farmers. I mean, it's very educational, but as far as if you want to talk about metaverse, it's really just people talking. It's video of people talking. So I'm not quite sure where they're trying to go with this, but they've put in a lot of money. It's very pretty. And they're, as far as I know, they're the first to really business that I know of that's, a consumer-based business that's like, hey, we want to do a metaverse, and put it out.
Are you able to share any of those pictures, or are you like in a strict non-disclosure kind of thing?
No, it didn't say that at all. I can't do it right this second because I couldn't figure out how, but I'm happy to send you guys some shots and stuff later of what they're doing. So what it is you show up and they say, hey, we're going to give you a tour of our coffee plant. And then you click on the button, you walk up to the desk and you say, I'd like to take a tour. And then you pick your tour guide. So do you want a man? Do you want a woman? Do you want a young woman? Do you want an older woman? Do you want an older man? So you pick your tour guide.
You want a man and a gimp suit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, they did that. And they're just really, they're just basically pictures from video. They're not like cartoon characters.
Oh.
It'll be interesting to see if they have truly built their own metaverse or if they've piggybacked off Roblox. Like Cheese and I covered a couple of episodes ago. McCain's Fries did a whole metaverse experience. Like it sounds very similar like that, but it was within Roblox. There's been a bunch of companies that, when you dig into it, it's not actually their metaverse. They're pigging off of other tech. So, but I think all of this, we've talked about this since the inception of the show, that all of this is the very leading edge of that. So, if Starbucks is playing around and it's clunky or whatever, but you could very easily see Starbucks transitioning to an NFT reward thing. Like you get your coffee and you get, one little tick, and you get so many ticks and you get an NFT. Like you could very easily see that happening.
And that's what they're doing. Once you take the tour, you've checked 5 boxes for taking the tour. There's a little quiz. What did you learn about coffee on your tour quiz?
It's delicious.
And then you get, reward points that go toward free food and beverages.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it will all come, but like Meta and all of these things, it's going to be clunky. It's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be cringy on the onset. Just think of the OG internet days with all those crazy noises when you're trying to connect up and that sort of thing. So trying to download a picture and you see the pixels coming down at a time.
I remember that.
It's just one of those things.
Remember?
All right.
Remember berries. Because I was thinking in the new year we could get kind of like another round table going.
Yes.
I love those. If you will have us again, Mesmee, it would be awesome. I know we had Shacklin, Dak.
Shaq and Dak and
and another person.
That was Costy for the FIFA thing we did, wasn't it?
Yeah. That would be cool. Get like a little.
All right, so those were a couple of fuddy ones. So it says there that last article, the metaverse doesn't have a leg to stand on. Well, here's another thing that we've been talking about as far as the investment side of things go. Chinese, whatever that province is, Zhejiang province, aims to build a $28.7 billion metaverse industry by 2025. That's one province in China spending.
Is that China behind? Is that picture? That's pretty. That's very pretty.
That looks like a metaverse thing. That doesn't look real. Yeah. So that's one province spending 28.7 billion. And then I've got another one straight after. South Korea's metaverse province says it will use virtual platform to expand ties with Vietnam. So like I still firmly believe that the majority of the mainstream adoption for NFTs metaverse, it's just going to be boring, bureaucratic shit. And then after that, you'll get all the gaming and whatnot flow on from that, the entertainment and stuff. But I think the real significant investments and the real like technological advancements are going to be made in stuff that's pretty boring and dry.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be about ownership. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mesmee.
Oh, I was just saying, I totally agree. Yeah, I think there's really no difference. Why don't just give me your website? I'll just go to your website.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but that's us old people. Like, you're gonna get the new people in, and they'll be like, "Oh, website, that's so dinosaur." Like, give me your metaverse.
Well, it's going to be one and the same. It's just going to be an upgrade of, you know, instead of like a website experience, well, it's going to be a more immersive, you know.
It's gonna be like, do you want to watch this on VHS or do you want to watch this on Blu-ray?
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll be like, I
Absolutely.
still have all my VHSs.
Yes. So, and you know, we talked about this one too. There's $52 million investment. Like through the history of this show, it was always, oh wow, this company's investing $5 million, or this place is investing 10 million. When now we're talking the multiple,
I know,
tens
that's so
of
crazy.
billions. So yeah, I just put those in to highlight. Yeah, you see articles like that. The metaverse doesn't have a leg to stand on. There is significant money getting front loaded into this, and
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
be like a steam train. It's going to take quite a while for it to get up and running, but once it does, there's going to be no turning back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason I brought those two up. All right, should we just dive into some Uplandy shizzle before we move on?
Sure, look at you. You're so organized here. Gosh.
Considering I was running late, yes, I didn't do too bad. Yeah. So if you didn't see, I don't know, did you see this, Cheese? So Upland has signed another football partnership.
I saw a little bit of it, but let's go into it some more.
So Upland welcomes AFA to the metaverse, scoring Argentina's flavor of football in the Upland. So it appears to be, what do we got? Argentina's finest football clubs. So yeah.
Nice.
So it must be the Argentina Football Association.
Which someone was saying the other day, it's just kind of like they made it sound like it's like this professional league, which kind of it is, but in reality, we're just talking about like the neighborhood teams that get together and compete against one another in Argentina. So I don't really think this is as big of a deal as they are trying to make it look like it is.
Interesting.
It could go both ways, I think. Like we know that Argentina won the World Cup and Buenos Aires is going to be released in Upland. So that will generate some, you know, some interest in those communities. Yeah. And like if you're a local kid or whatever in Argentina and you're interested in football, I think if I had my local team was going to have some products there, I'd be pretty pumped about that. So it might be a local groundswell sort of thing more than anything. Yeah. I mean, when the news about the FIFA partnership dropped and we had that round table, we were kind of blown away, like thinking, well, this is gonna go nuclear as far as user numbers and that. But it hasn't. If you look at the daily active user numbers, it's actually dropped. So,
well, to be fair, and this is devil's advocate, you know me, they have gotten rid of a lot of multi-accounters, and like even after our Christmas special came out, the player that Uplando said was going to be going down is actually in jail this morning.
Oh, how good was that? Uplando was on fire.
He was on fire.
He was like whipping.
I'd rather our player base go down substantially and get rid of these multi-accounters than keep them in just for the numbers.
Yeah.
And was this the sniper? Yes.
Yes, the sniper. What was his name? I don't want to. He did say it on the show, but I forgot. I think it starts with a B.
It was something bot. Something.
Yeah, like he named himself a bot.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really chase numbers. It's the community aspect of things that I think holds the most power. And I think
numbers are nice, though.
Well, they help pay the bills,
supposed
I
to be
guess.
I'm going back if I'm flip-flopping.
No, that's fine. And yeah, I think this might just create like lots of little small communities. And I think ultimately that's a good thing, because the three of us here, we know that the power within Upland is the community.
Yeah.
You can't download the app and think, oh, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I've been playing Upland for 3 years in a couple of weeks. In 2 weeks, I've been playing Upland for 3 years, and we've just got chat. And, if I want to be fair, the chat is, well, I just went to load chat before and on my phone on iOS, and it's glitched out. It's not working. So
I can't curse you out either. Like, you should be able to give people freedom to do what they want. Like, if the person does something you don't like, just kind of block them. But if I wanted to call Ben like a wanker, I had to call you a wankernator.
Oh, and your
So
messages.
I have a workaround from an old commercial that I really like. I call people lint lickers. So that Upland doesn't have a problem with that, and I think that really solves it.
Lint licker, I love it.
Lint licker.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But also with the chat, they just purchased it from another company. They didn't create that. So I think one of the questions is, why did it take so long then if they're just going to buy it from another company?
Yeah, and I did the first thing I did when I opened it was I went and whinged in the UCN channel. I was like, dark mode, please.
No, yeah.
Like, my eyes are getting blitzed. So X1 did say that dark mode's on the way. So yeah, but it's one of those things.
I'd rather see than that is the search in like for your properties when you're doing a trade. I'm not a whale. I'm more of a chubby dolphin, and I have a lot of properties
bloated, I believe.
Bloated. Come on.
Yes.
Chunky.
Yeah. Well, they did say they were going to do it. So, and they did it. So, how they went about doing it, maybe this is just the first iteration, and undoubtedly there will be improvements, because at the moment it's pretty piss poor, if I want to just be totally honest.
Do the search, please.
But I'll take it. It's better than nothing for sure. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're definitely coming through.
I need people to turn it on though, because every time I try to message somebody, they haven't set their chat up yet.
I didn't know how to do it. Ben was like, "Oh, I'm trying to message you. I can't message you." And then I was talking to Uplando, and I'm like, "Ben can't even message me. I'm not even in there." He goes, "You have to turn it on." It was either Uplando or Goldsmith, and you actually have to go somewhere and press enable.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember doing that on my phone, so maybe it's a desktop thing. Maybe I clicked through.
When you open it, there was like a warning screen, like, "Hey, you have to read once. Now, once you've read it and said, yeah, we're okay, then you don't ever have to do this again," kind of a thing.
And then there's different like sections in there. Like if you go in there, I didn't even see it on the bottom left either. Like I was like, oh yeah, there's like a little thing there. And then when you go there, it's not the chat yet, it's the channels. Then on the bottom you have to actually click on chat, and then you see your chat there.
And the one thing with the channels they've got to fix right away is when they send a message, it always goes to the very bottom. So let's say they've sent out 6 messages on a channel. The new message is at the bottom of those.
You gotta scroll.
The scroll.
Oh, that's so bad.
We have the new one on the top, so that's got to get fixed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And if they've purchased this from somewhere else, that's not going to be a quick fix anytime soon, you wouldn't imagine, if at all. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to fix that, Upland. That's a good point. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I wouldn't have even known that. I would have been like, oh, like I would have been all the way at the top saying December 21st. They didn't write anything since then.
Yeah,
because Jesus,
definitely an issue on mobile.
Right.
Yes. But what else is happening? Well, we've got the Upland Candy Cane Lane Challenge.
Woohoo!
Candy cane lane.
Yes. Candy cane lane. So this is all about what is this all about?
Look at that sleigh up there. Doesn't that look familiar? Is Upland doing something from our the stuff
Jesus.
we're submitting?
So a sleigh is a sleigh, mate. Come on.
It's the same colors. I don't
But that's
know.
what Christmas sleighs look like. They're red
I
with
don't
gold
know.
trim.
Yeah, I got to back up Ben on this one.
All right. I'm
Yes.
a paranoid person, so I need explanations.
Yeah, so this is, speaking of, community involvement, this is a neighborhood challenge. So this is all about, like, I would like a 1,000 UPX for every time Upland says the word node in this article, please. Thank you. It's
Did
node,
you know
node,
that,
node,
Mesmee?
node.
That Ben was the first one to like put life into the word node?
I did know that only because I have read the history of Ben.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because I shouted at anybody.
Yes.
Yes.
It was me.
But it has never, ever been officially recognized by
Nope.
Upland aside from them to use it. So, yeah. So this is all about, neighborhood development. And look at that, Rio de Janeiro. There's a Rio node up there, is killing it.
Wow.
Right below Portage Park. We know Portage Park is an absolute monster. We're huge fans and supporters of Portage Park. So much so that I am the #1 property holder in Portage Park. There you go. But
it looks like this particular competition, there's no guarantee that Portage Park will get it based on the criteria they're using this time.
Well, it's tricky because it maxes out at 100. So while it looks like the final scores, if you look at it, it looks like second place is only just behind Portage Park, but Portage Park could be miles ahead, but it only goes up to 100%.
Now,
Right.
what is the criteria?
So it's about the numbers of winter structure ornaments, like the ones we had from last year, the user-generated content, the ones we've had from UNICEF this year. It's outdoor decor. It also includes the gnomes. So it's the number of those. It's the variety of those. There's a thing with that. It's also your score will not count unless you're an official resident of that neighborhood.
All right. So do I have to move to Midtown for this?
Well, it's up to you.
No,
like,
of course. Like
this.
you're well. I mean,
like Midtown, I spent, and Cheese, I don't know if you saw yet, but you're going to smack me. I spent like 380,000 UPX last night decking out Midtown Terrace.
That's not so bad, and it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Like, I have to eventually do this for Bronx sales, so I have everything in Midtown Terrace decorated.
Yeah, so it's one of the biggest things is how many official residents are there, and there's some of these smaller projects that they're just never going to be able to compete with the larger ones because it's just ultimately it becomes the number of official residents. So
yeah,
but this one they're also doing voting, right? The players are voting.
Yeah,
it's going to be, I think maybe it says in here the top 5 or something like that. Where are we? Yeah, the top 5 community nodes on the Candy Cane leaderboard will be voted upon. Yep. Yeah, so that's a good point, actually, Mesmee. So while Portage Park might be the leader, there's no guarantee. Yeah, you're right that they're going to win because one of these smaller nodes, like Playa del Rey or somewhere, they might have a really fantastic campaign out there to wrangle votes up. Yeah,
actually, they have a really active Discord. The Playa.
Yes, absolutely. So no, I think it's good. Anything that can support community, collaboration, involvement, we're all about that. I think it's great. So,
and the UNICEF,
and it did, like I said,
charity. It's the ones for this year are for charity. So I hopefully it'll make some more sales for UNICEF too.
Yeah, and there's a buttload of them still available. Like I got up at 3 a.m. to start buying them. Oh, did you get smashed with the captures? That's another thing I whined about in the UCN channel.
I didn't. I saw that.
Oh my fucking God.
I didn't. Maybe it's a phone thing.
Maybe. normally when you go to purchase something and you get those slow motion captures, you can press the refresh button and you press it and you get to the quick ones. But this was just all slow-mo. And there was one there that I must have did 20 captures to finally get it to clear. This is at 3 a.m. on a work night. You know what I'm going to be like. I'm fucking raging. So, but
I got to sleep in. I got to get whatever I needed, whatever I wanted.
Yeah, well, I should have, because then, yesterday in the afternoon, I drove Maya and the kids crazy because I just kept setting a 5-minute timer. 5-minute timer, go and buy one. 5-minute timer, go and buy one. So yes, but the captures were fixed up yesterday. It was just those quick ones, so maybe it was just a coincidence. But yes, there's still plenty available. So yeah, get yourself on over and buy some ornaments, and they are pretty reasonably priced. Around 10,000 for the townhouses. So
yeah, tiny houses sold out.
Yeah.
Yes, and so did apartments. So I went and had a look before.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the apartments as well. So, you know, I think this is good. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch of prizes associated with that. The top ranked neighborhood will get a parade. That's assuming that you don't get white screen crash to hell, which I can't do anything on mobile. I just get white screen crashed. So
you are whiny today.
Oh, it's the Whine and fucking Cheese show. What do you expect? Yes, but no, I'm glad to see that Upland did put this out. Like, we were able to get some more ornaments, and we did have a thing, and we will get a parade. And
now I'm gonna play devil's advocate again.
Okay, go for it.
Those gnomes look like shit. They look like shit. They're not detailed. Like, I look at the stuff that D-Tech puts out, and I know they had to get them out fast. I would have liked more detail.
No, gnomes are supposed to be faceless. They're not supposed to have, they're supposed to be very vague, because no one's really seen a gnome up close and personal long enough to get a good photograph to represent gnomes. So I'm not with you on this one. I think they're cute as
the body. Real all right. I guess, yeah. I guess I can see that.
I've got a whine about it too, but it's not. I couldn't give a crap about the art style or whatever. I'm trying to buy some, but what I don't like, Cheese, is that the UNICEF factory showroom situation, and we've seen this with the FIFA as well. Clearly, they have been provided with an automated system. Okay, so first of all, they've been provided with a large factory and probably a buttload of spark to run it. That's fair enough. It's an Upland partner. That's all well and good. But this automated factory to showroom system, why can't we have that?
Maybe we will.
That's a good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Because at the moment, my showroom, or our showroom, is totally glitched out. I can't move any inventory to our showroom because it just white screen crashes. The team is trying to fix it up. I don't know if it's just restricted to my showroom. I don't really know. But yeah, I had a look last night. I monitored it. So in the Rio factory that's building those gnomes, you can see the countdown. And that's the other thing. If they're producing those every 3 hours, what's the spark hours on those, Cheese? Like 1 or 3? But the spark hours are tiny in comparison to what we get.
But look what they look like. And I
know
the size,
the size of them, though, you know, you can't tell me that's like postbox size.
So I got the house decorations, and I'll always love that. And I do have like a group that I buy these things with, the timing and yada yada for the whole tile thing. But I didn't even like put myself out to go get these.
Yeah, I'm going to try and grab a couple. I'm on the way to Rio now.
I mean, it's smart. It's smart to have it because it is like it's money. It's easy money. You know, I don't like soccer. I don't like football, but I do it anyway because it's money. I want to do this because, you know, I know it's an easy sell sort of thing, but
these are not easy to get. There's a huge line of people all trying to get them at one time, and I don't care how long you spend in Rio and how many times you try, you may get 0 gnomes.
I'm in a group that actually tries together to get them. So like they're there for the tile thing. You had to go from Queens to LA to Detroit and then to Rio, and it was random. And we were like each staked in each place, and we had a timer, and we were like, all right, whoever's in Rio, go. Whoever's in LA, go. And you know, that didn't end up being those didn't end up being very popular, but I could see these being a lot more popular.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just the way that they finish minting in the factory and then they're immediately available in the showroom. I'm like, yes, please, I'll have that. Yes, please.
Well, so, you know, knock on wood, it'll come.
Yes. All right. And one more thing to touch on. Speaking of gnomes, we just had released just before we got kicked off is the Gnome Escape. Did you see this one?
No.
Gnomes on the loose. So this is basically a treasure hunt one. So within the treasures, you'll be able to collect gnomes.
Oh, is this anywhere?
Wait, no, cities are Nashville, Kansas, Cleveland, Manhattan, Queens, Rio, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, and Fresno. Yes.
Vegas, baby. Woo!
I'll probably go to Queens. I'm currently in Bronx right now.
Yes.
That's where my node is. That's where Dog's shop is. So I'm just trying to get my stuff out for as cheap as I can. Dog too, like the prices there really good. Shill over, but
I'm gonna whine about this too. Upland's a one-trick pony. Everything's always treasure hunts. Can we get a different gaming mechanic that's not... I freaking hate treasure hunts. Treasure hunts bore the shit out of me.
New Year's coming. New Year's coming. They'll have some different stuff. And it's up to us, the players, to think of the level 2 sort of thing and go with them, you know, Ben? But I hear you.
But it's been a one-trick pony for 3 years. I mean, come on, can we get different gamification, please? You know,
like I like the turkey better than these gnomes.
Yeah, I mean, you're up against.
Beat me up.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to be able to be friends, but I
no, stop! I want to be friends. They're great. They're lovely. They're lovely. And now I'm going to do this just to get one.
Well, good luck, because there are professional treasure hunters out there who will set their alarms and they will get up every 3 hours to just gobble these up and dominate. So,
wait, I thought it was like if you at least get 1 or 2, you're in the running, because that's how I got my turkey.
It might be, yeah, but the competitive tier treasure hunts spread across out Upland. So,
I
yeah,
did
you still have a chance.
Hunt. I had 1 treasure hunt. I got one turkey, and I got both explorers.
Oh, wow, that's lucky.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I like those odds.
Yes, I just wish there was a different mechanic to be able to do these sorts of things. Treasure hunts, I mean,
what's the grumpy gnome look like?
I got sick of treasure hunts 2 years ago. I don't know. Do we have grumpy?
Oh,
grumpy
yeah,
gnome.
the first one. I like that. I always like grumpy, the most basic ones, because like golden. That's silver, and then the gold one is golden.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah,
so, I mean, it's cool that they're doing these things, but yeah, come on, get a different way to be able to do it, please. All right, that's all I've got, Cheese. Now, Mesmee, we haven't actually had a guest in for a while, so we might be a bit rusty here, so please bear with us. Do you remember how to do this, Cheese? How do we do it?
This is how I started. It's really disturbing, but pour us a hot cup of Mesmee.
More context.
Tell us about yourself. What do you do? How did you get to the metaverse? Who are you outside of the metaverse?
Sure. So I guess first we'll start with my name Mesmee, because that explains who I am. For most of my life, I worked in academia, and we used the phrase subject matter expert, and we abbreviate that to SME. So Mesmee is a joke of I am a subject matter expert. And so I can jokingly say I'm an Upland subject matter expert, but I've been playing since May of 2021 and failed miserably for a good 6 months playing. couldn't figure anything out. And I really fell into it because I don't like hitting and shooting people games.
I love them.
And I have a travel bug. So once I left academia, I decided I didn't want to work in the real world anymore. And so I gave it all up. I bought a tiny house so that I'm not paying some huge mortgage or apartment rent. And now what I do is I travel all over the country. I pick a job, do it for 3 months, and then come home. And then I'm home for 2 or 3 months, and then I'll pick another job. So I've spent a lot of my time in the summers working in Alaska because I enjoy it. So I work as a tour guide in Alaska.
So cool. And
in the winters, I spent a lot of time in Colorado. I love snow. So I've worked for a lot of ski resorts in Colorado. And I've been to 49 states and 13 countries.
Living the life.
So I'm obsessed with maps and travel. So when I saw Upland, I was like, oh yeah, this is right up my alley. And I get obsessed with looking at the neighborhoods and what's going on there and what do people do there and what are they famous for? And so I get really excited about those little squares that I own. And buying new squares. I really like square. I really enjoy. Yeah, so that's my thing. Other than Upland, I am a dog fanatic. I have 2 mutts, and I am a beer geek. So when I left academia, I worked for about 6 years in the craft beer industry, and so I can talk beer for hours and hours and hours.
Wow. Yeah, my husband would probably be so interested in that because he likes to taste the different beers, and he's not a hipster like the IPAs or anything, but he likes to taste like beers from around the world sort of thing.
I've been to over 500 breweries around the world.
Wow. That's cool. Wow. What was I gonna say? So what so your love of mapping and owning within maps and whatnot brought you to Upland. What kept you there? What was your journey within Upland?
I was trying to find something that I could do as a hobby that wasn't shooting people. And there's very few options, it seems like. Or maybe I wasn't looking in the right places, but
right, there's a lot of it.
I just don't. And in fact, I got involved in a game called Blankos, which I thought was great. They have cute little characters. And then within a month of me joining Blankos, you started having to hit people and shoot people. And I was like, well, So I feel like with the Upland thing, I feel like there's a lot of strategy, there's a lot of luck, but I end up doing a lot of research to get ahead. And it was funny, one time I had all my stuff out and I've got all my notes and I've got my spreadsheets and I've got, everything up on the computer. And my brother is an accountant and he goes, my God, because that looks like my desk. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I am definitely playing from a place of research. So I enjoy it. Yeah. And so I don't know anything about Rio because I like cold places. So I had to go do a bunch of research about Rio. And so once I bought properties, it was like, okay, so what does this neighborhood look like? What are they famous for? What do they eat there? That's the kind of stuff I enjoy. So
I like that too.
The community's been great. I don't get to participate a lot in things like this. Mostly because, again, I'm in a different state somewhere. I work a lot of nights, especially when I'm a tour guide. I work a lot of nights. So it's only been recently that I've been able to really participate in things like this. But I think I'm going to start doing.
Yeah, I definitely want you back on to do some roundtables, discuss with us, stuff that's coming out in Upland and whatnot. We definitely like to hear from different people, new people, old people. It's really good to get that perspective, from different views, because sometimes you're just kind of pigeonholed and you need to hear somebody else's view. What kind of projects do you have going on in Upland right now?
So the main one is I am the new manager of the Sunrise Las Vegas node.
Ooh.
So it's brand new node. However, it's part of Upland UPA, which UPA has Hollis in Queens.
Okay.
So I've been working really hard on that node, and I begged them to let me get Sunrise up and running, which they had plans for, but they were gonna wait until more of Hollis was built up. But I begged them. So now we're doing Hollis and Sunrise.
Nice.
The group is very supportive. They do have a Spark train, and they help a lot of new players out. And I'm super excited about
Who's
Vegas.
the creator of the Spark train, Ben?
I believe that would be Miss Morecheese.
Well, actually,
and
you.
us.
Actually, you first, and then me. But I just love other people doing our stuff. All right, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I think, the other thing is Vegas, we already have 4 businesses. A lot of people don't realize we've already got 4 running businesses in Vegas. We've got 2 really strong nodes in Vegas. We've got Sunrise, but the poker node, which is right underneath us, is really active. They don't have a single property for sale in their node.
Oh, wow.
They're building like crazy, and they have big dreams, and they've done really impressive things. And their racetrack actually got nominated. It was one of the votes for the racetrack was the poker node. So I want to give them props. I want to give them big props for everything they've done. And again, we're just up the street, and we're going to get going. We have a racetrack we've designed. Not ready to put that out yet, but we've designed it. And then the big thing is we've got to finish minting out Sunrise. And the big problem that we're going to have, I think, is we have 58 non-FSA properties that are cost between $73,000 and $876,000 UPEX. So yes. We need some big players in order to get those accomplished. But it is our goal in the first 6 months of the node. So hopefully by June to get those minted out.
Now, let me ask you a question. I'm looking for Sunrise. Is this neighborhood or is it a street?
It's a neighborhood. It's going to be in the top right-hand corner of Vegas.
Yes.
It's
cool.
It's tiny.
All right. I have 2 properties there ready.
Oh, good.
Well, Cheese, guess who is the #1 property holder in Sunrise?
It is Ben.
Wow, nice job. Look at you,
well,
Ben.
It just happened that when Las Vegas released, I was in that area and I just minted up like crazy. But Mesmee's right behind me. I just had a look before. You won away, Mesmee. So, yes.
Oh, well, I just gave a property away to somebody today as a thank you. So that's why.
And you said there's still plenty of unminted there.
Well, there's 164 unminted, but 58 of those are those huge, big, huge honkers that are up at the very top. And as I said to my group, ain't nobody got that kind of UPEX right now. So eventually we'll get there. And again, my goal is by June that we get those minted out. And I hope that we can get some players that want to be active, because my personal Upland dream and goal I'd love to see happen in Sunrise. And I'm going to need partners to do it. And when I say partners, I always joke, I have no skills. Like I can't hammer a nail into a wall. I couldn't get this background. One of my node members got this background set up for me. I have no skills. I can drink beer, and I can talk about beer, and that's about it. So
you got networking skills. You knew who to contact to get those things done.
I do.
And more importantly, you've got interest and drive. That's like Cheese and I have been in this whole node life for coming up on 2 years. How many projects have we seen fizzle and die, Cheese? Because it's very, very. We always say this. It's very, very easy to start these things. And especially now, it's really tough now. Like when we first started nodes, it was a relatively new concept in the community. So there was a lot of interest and a lot of people piled into the one project. But, as the Upland Development United United, we encouraged our members to start their own projects, and that's kind of snowballed through. So now there's node projects all over the place. Like Sunrise is a classic example. I bought those, whatever it is, I don't even know how many, it's 100 properties or something. I didn't even know that was a node or anything until somebody reached out. So yeah. And if I have been accused of this in the past, like, oh, you say this about selling nodes, but you're selling a node. Mate, I didn't even freaking know it was a node. If you don't tell me it's a node, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah, like the one thing about having a node is like you really need to know everybody that's in your node. Like,
yeah,
I have a node, 314 properties. I know each and every one. I contacted every single person there. Some of them are really nice. Some of them are not very nice at all. Some of them are greasy. But it's, you know, you gotta make sure you know, or like if you see somebody selling it for sale for a certain amount and you're like, oh, I like that person, I know that person, they're big, just reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I'm doing something there with this. Would you like to be a part of it? If so, you know, take your thing off for sale. Something like that.
Yeah, like I bought those properties there. My whole motivation at the time was I was going to sit on those for a year and then just flip them at the floor. But now that I know that's a node project, well, you know, and people got to understand that I'm juggling 6,000 properties. Like, if I put one up for sale, I might have completely forgot or something. Like, it's kind of been insinuated that I'm doing this out of spite or something. You know, I may put something up for sale and I've just forgot. Just say, hey, remember this is a project, and I'll go, oh, sorry about that. Like, the one thing, the one thing that I've committed to, like projects like Sunrise, and there's, you know, dozens of others, is if I do look to flip out, the first thing I'll do is, who's the node manager? Oh, it's Mesmee. I'll send Mesmee a DM and I'll say, look, Mesmee, I've got these however many properties. I'm looking to, you know, drop my percentage here. I don't want to hold this many, and I'll work with the node managers. But that just comes through conversations. So yeah, but
I think that's great. Yeah, and I think that we're very new, so it's up to us to let people know what's happening. The Upland Property Advisors Discord group is where Sunrise is under. So if you do a search for Sunrise, you may not find us.
Yeah.
So, and we're giving away a Sunrise property to anybody who signs up for the Upland Property Advisors Discord group by December 25th. They're in for a free property. We're doing a drawing.
Nice.
And then the players that have been in that group for a long time that own properties in Sunrise, I'm giving away a property with a house on it, with a townhouse on it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And it's all those little things that you will find you're doing that is going to keep the community, you know, engaged. And yeah, it can be disheartening when you set up these things and you, like Cheese and I do this every week with the UD podcast. We put out these challenges to give sometimes up to 50,000 UPX away, and 2 people do it. Like, we just laugh. Like, you can't even put in 2 seconds worth of effort to win 50,000 UPX. Yeah. So yeah, it's sometimes, like, as the node manager, which you are going to be, sometimes, you know, it can be tough to maintain the motivation and that sort of thing. So yes,
I think we're going to go with a slow and steady for the next 6 months, and we'll see what we can do. I'm not in a hurry, but particularly because my little side project that I want to do, I think is going to take a lot of time to find the right people.
Yeah.
And so, especially with those big properties, what I don't want is we get these big properties and then someone throws on a factory or something on it, and then now we can't use them for other things. Yeah. And so we want to plan. So we're going to have a planning meeting here very, very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, the other thing that you'll find is, like, when we started establishing nodes and it kind of got out in the community, was people will buy those just to flip the floor on you or hold you to ransom, basically.
Yep, so that happens to me. So I was I waited 6 months. I purchased as many properties as I can. There were a few on sale for outrageous prices. And I was like, all right, you know, nobody's going to really buy this. I feel secure enough to kind of go public with my node. And I went on actually, it was Dak. It wasn't even me that was on the Upland show. Dak was on the Upland show. And Dak invited me to speak about my node because he helped me out. I actually contracted the UCC to help me with FSA properties within there. And I mentioned my node, and the first thing somebody did was they bought 2 properties and put them for double price. And I can get passionate at times. I'm an Italian New Yorker, a Gemini, and I went off mute, and I'm like, thanks for being greasy. Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm never buying those from you, and I hope they never sell.
Yes.
So
yeah, and we have already seen. I mean, the properties that were up for cash were going at 50%, 53% for a while. In the last week to 2 weeks, now I think the lowest one is 68% cash. And then I was scooping up properties also for 95% of mint for UPX, and now they're all, I think the bottom is 105. So it's starting to happen, but I'm the queen of the corners. I like to own corner properties. So I've got most of my corners, so I'm happy about that. Now,
what's your take on blocks? Now, I have this ongoing debate within the Portage Park server. Like, people say, yeah, I got this block of properties, but they've only got one side of the street. I always believe that a block you got to own, it's got to be encircled by streets.
So the nice thing about Upland Property Advisors, we're very open to people doing what they want to do. So we don't have a color scheme. We're not making sure that every property is a ranch or something like that. And it's really about putting properties on every single address. So I don't care if you own a block, a street, whatever. If you're in our node, we want you to participate. So it doesn't matter to us. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I went down the same path with Midtown Terrace. I said, just build whatever you want. It's the same sort of thing. Build what you want to build. But you know what I'm going to say, Cheese? Cheese went the opposite extreme.
Mine had to be yellow. And if it was big enough for an apartment, I wanted an apartment on there. But at the same time, I have been putting all of my Spark to my Bronxdale node.
Helping other people.
Yeah. So like I have about 12-ish Spark. So I'll look to see who has their property up, and I'll be like, all right, they have something, it's going to be 30 days. I'll pour the 12 Spark on there, and it turns into like 7 days, and we've been getting them out like that. I was able to build a showroom on one of my larger places only because I want to have, that in my business, the Samurai Aquatics, be able to sell things on the East Coast. And that would be like really cool to have that there. But like you said, like I didn't really want a lot of factories and showrooms in there. And it's not even that big. Like the properties that I don't have, that other people have, it would be a waste of space, really, to build on there, unless you're going to make a small one, and a small one, in my opinion, is just like not worth it.
No. Well, I think it's a smart way that you're approaching this, like taking it slow and steady and not getting ahead of yourself, not putting, we see a lot of projects put, grandiose ideas out, and like I said, it's very hard to keep up the momentum of that. So no, I think that's very clever. Now, something that just did drop, sorry, go finish your thought.
No, I was going to say, I have a grandiose idea, but I'm hoping it takes place in Sunrise, but it's not Sunrise's grandiose idea. That we're going to go slow and steady.
That's good too.
Thank you for saying that, because like I was like, wait a second, what's wrong with grandiose ideas?
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it. We see,
Ben.
We often see these new node projects or community projects. They come out the gate with grandiose ideas. And that's like, the UDU was a classic example of that too. We came out beating our chests and, spruiking this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, you guys were men-child back then.
What was that? Crypto Bros. We were the nerd bros.
Bro, man, yeah.
And of course, like all of those things do, it just fizzled and died, and we picked up the pieces and rebuilt from there.
And then she stepped in.
She did. The cheesy glue, as I always say, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to say is when we were speaking in DM, Mesmee, you were saying that you were very close to upgrading to executive. Well, we just got a net drop then that Spark Week has been announced for Boxing Day to January. So you better get flipping.
No, I haven't hit the button. I'm there.
Oh, so don't
you're
yet.
there.
It's you say Boxing Day, so that's the 25th.
Yes. 20. Sorry. No, not Boxing Day. No, 25th is Christmas Day.
26.
Boxing Day is the 26th.
Yes, 26. Yes.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm just waiting to hit the button.
Nice.
Oh, you have been flipping then, because when we were DMing, I think you said you were 200-300K away, something like that.
Yeah, I made that up in a week, or 4 days or something. Yeah. I'm ready.
Good. To go. She's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I know of at least probably 5 or 6 people that are just hanging out, ready to press that button. Yeah. Good stuff.
And I almost did it today. I really did. I was like, oh, forget the Spark. I'm just going to do it because I get so tired.
Don't do that.
Well, but this whole like trying to send UPX to people and having to use burner properties and all that doesn't that go away once you become executive?
Not completely, no. But it does reduce, I believe. Yeah. So yes, if you did, you would have missed out on 1.4 Spark, which is what's that, $700 worth. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Spark. Yeah, it starts December 26th and ends January 2nd for the upgrade.
I've been trying to flip in USD so I can afford some free Spark. So far, I've been able, I had to buy some things for USD for my node, but right now I have $212.
Nice.
To go towards the Spark.
I've got hardly anything. I think I got 100, which is not going to go very far. I tried.
You tried. Next month.
Yes. Yeah, all right. Well, what else you got cooking? Is there anything else? Like we know you've got the node project on the way. Is there anything else about the Upland ecosystem or further Web3 sort of stuff that's kind of piques your interest?
Yeah, so this is my grandiose idea that I want to accomplish somehow, but I have to find the right partners. I have been screaming and screaming and screaming about trees, plants, nurseries. And when Puppet the other day on your show was talking about partnering with parks in the real world, I was like, oh, finally somebody else is talking about this. I don't know if Upland will let me make trees in a factory.
They won't, because of STEM. They told us that we couldn't do what gardens.
We can't have anything living. We can't manufacture anything living as far as outdoor decor goes, or even to the point where we couldn't manufacture water that looked like it was moving. Like you couldn't have a fountain with the bowl overflowing with water. But maybe. Yes,
but when STEM comes out, I'm sure that they're going to have that available for people who are interested in that. So just kind of like I tell everybody else, have everything ready for it. Create a name, create stuff you want to create, like
business plan.
Yeah, have everything ready.
I didn't tell you, Cheese. I was setting up some stuff at work. I was setting up Dropbox, and I found the original pitch that I sent to Upland for the Samurai Aquatics.
Oh, wow.
I'll see if I can find that and we can go over that. But so that's going to be a completely separate token. And of course, well, I'm hoping they will airdrop some of that based on status as well. I hope we don't have to all start from scratch, but potentially we will, because that's going to be a massive cash cow for Upland to produce or to put forward essentially a currency in the game that you got to buy or earn. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do that, because if you're talking about pets like dogs and cats, that's going to be pretty cringe if you're going to pumping those out of a factory. That's not a good look.
No, I feel like they're going to have them be bred. Like you breed them, like horses, horse racing, dogs.
How niche can they go? Like, obviously, if Mesmee's talking about trees, well, you could have a nursery, a small nursery, a medium nursery, a large nursery. Well, what about animals? A fish farm? I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how niche they go.
And that's my hope, is that we do greenhouses to grow trees. Yeah. And taking one of those really big, fat, juicy properties in the Sunrise node and turning it into a greenhouse is my hope.
That would be so nice. That'd be so nice. That makes me want to buy it just to hold it for you. That nice big chunky one on the top left.
Yeah, well, like I said, I would go and gobble something like that up, but I just spent the UDU podcast.
I know, he gave away $1 million up there.
The wheel budget. No, and I just spent this week's budget too, so I'm in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, the UNICEF. Yeah, I went crazy on the UNICEF stuff.
Well, I definitely, if anybody is watching and wants or hearing this on the podcast and wants to get involved with somehow planning for greenhouses, nurseries, trees, plants, definitely reach out to me, Mesmee, in game and on Discord, and I would love to find someone to partner with on this.
So now this brings us to the challenge. Like, how do you want people to contact you through Twitter, through a Discord, join a Discord? We usually give prizes out. I do an NFT. I'm gonna do your beautiful face. I'll let you look at everything before I do it. I make them a little funny. I don't know if you've seen any of my art. Have. Oh, good. So you see, I do the pixel art. Like, there's my Santa back there. And like, where would you want them to contact you mostly? Like, do you want them to DM you? Do you want them to go on a specific Discord? Like, because you said you had the Discord for the prizes.
Yeah, I think just DM me on Discord or in game. I think that's probably the easiest. Again, this is going to take a long time to plan out, and of course, we're going to need artists. We're going to need people who know what they're doing with technology. I mean, there's a million different pieces to this. So again, it's if someone's passionate, let's start talking. And again, this isn't going to be a rush thing, but I'm super passionate about the trees and the plants and then greenhouses and getting those things going on those blue squares.
All right, so I'd say DM Mesmee and also leave a comment on the YouTube and in the YouTube comment section saying I love trees. And you'll get a Morecheese NFT of this episode for free.
That's great. Yes. Very much. I appreciate that.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for coming here. Oh my gosh, this was.
Hang on, I haven't finished yet. You sound like you're trying to wrap up.
I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying it's over.
Well,
I just want to party.
Well, I just want to pick Mesmee's brain a bit more. I mean, like the way you're describing like your whole job situation where you've been to so many places, you're all over the place. Obviously, you'd be having conversations with local people and this, that, and the other thing. Is any of that, like, for me personally, like, I don't really have conversations about Upland within my in real life bubble because I've tried to, and it just, you just see the eyes glaze over and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Is that, yeah, you're nodding your head, so you're similar?
Yeah, and I meet people from all over the world. As a tour guide, people are coming to Alaska, and I'm meeting people from Australia and from Japan and I've never in the real world met a human being who plays Upland. Not one.
Yeah.
Yes. And, when I've talked to my brother, who's around my age about it, again, he's the accountant. He's like, yeah, that's nice. That looks like work.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. So the only people I get to talk to about it is people in the community that I've found through Discord. And even the other day, I sent my brother a text message. I was like, I just paid my car insurance bill off of a property I sold. And he's like, yeah, that's nice. Like no interest, zero.
Brothers.
Yeah. So no, it's only the people here. And like I said, usually I work nights. And when I work a lot of hours because, I'm there for a really short period of time. So I haven't been able to participate much. But again, the other thing about this lifestyle is I only really work about 6 to 7 months a year. The rest of the time I don't work at all. So,
yeah, I was just going to say, I always say to Cheese, like when I have a day off from my in real life job, I'm way more busier doing my metaverse jobs. It's like crazy. Like I've said to my wife a couple of times, like if we won Lotto and I was to retire from my in real life job, I'd be so freaking busy. I'd be crazy busy.
Be thinking about ideas how to smash your computer.
Yeah. So, well, it wouldn't be my computer; it'd be my phone. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my husband, he doesn't get it. I dragged him to Vegas.
You've got him in. He's
Uh
in.
he logs in now every day for the Spark,
Yep.
which is improvement from before. But yeah, he came to the Vegas meetup with me, and I was appreciative of that. But he likes my friends in the metaverse. Like, we play video games, and he's made many bromances. Shout out Big Dollars. But yeah, I just can't get him to get in there. Like, he did sell one of the soccer legits for a good amount of money, and that got him excited. So like, he's asking more and more. Before, he used to just kind of like roll his eyes or suck his teeth, but now he's getting more and more in there, which is good.
Mm.
I told Ben,
cool.
if I won the lotto, I would give to him and his wife so that we can do the show like more. And Ben goes, "I'll just run away with the money."
It'll be a speck on the horizon. Yes. No. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely the same. Like, I've tried to have those conversations, and it just gets nowhere. You can't really force people to be interested in these things, and it can be frustrating because like we talked about with the whole, the metaverse thing, how it's going to be bureaucracy and this, that, and the other thing in NFTs. People are going to have this in their life whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be, it's going to be a case where, I wish you had told me about this 5 years ago. I'm like, motherfucker, I fucking told you 5 years ago. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
It reminds me of a quick story. It has nothing to do with this, but you know me. So I was like in my teens, and there was this girl. We'll call her Elle, and I'm like, me and my dad, we always, the day of Christmas Eve, we play this one number, 125. And we're going to go play it right now. Do you want to take a car ride with me? And she's like, all right. So I played, 4 straight 2 box. My dad went ham. And then she goes in and plays. And we're like, oh, you got 125. She goes, I got another number. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, all right. That night, my dad calls me. He's like, don't scream. And I'm like, don't scream. He's like, 125 came out. I started screaming. And then she wouldn't talk to me for weeks.
I
said,
feel like you're speaking a different language. What's 125? Like a lotto game?
It's pick three.
Okay.
So, and it came out straight. So like, if it comes out box, like 521, 251, you still get money, but not as much. If it comes out straight, 125, you get a lot. I think I made like close to $8,000.
Holy shit. No wonder you're screaming.
My dad, he made over 50K.
What?
And that's where but this was like, oh my God, Ben, this was like in the mid 90s, late 90s. And that's where he bought his Toyota.
Well, it raises the obvious question: as a little young whippersnapper cashed up, what the hell did you spend 8K on?
The first thing I thought of getting was Christmas gifts for my family, and the rest I put away in the bank. Like, I used to save everything, and then eventually I put that money to Sirius Satellite Radio and AMD when they went to 64-bit from 32, and everyone's like, we're never gonna use 64 bits ever. And so I got in at AMD at $8, and I sold it at $40. Same with Sirius Satellite Radio, under $1. I sold it at $9.
So you've always been a smart little
nerd,
hustling investor.
Yeah. Yes. And she
cool.
was mad at me, and even her father called me. Because we were teenagers, we were kids, and we were always taught to respect the elders. So I couldn't really say anything to him. And he was like, how she is. Why didn't you force her? Why didn't you go in there with her? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Joe, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is your daughter. She makes her decisions. And they were just both mad at me.
Oh, well.
It was FOMO.
Yeah.
It was. Well,
I don't talk to that lady now, so But yeah, it's like, why didn't you tell me? I did. See, it's kind of related to your story.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's it's something I didn't know about you either, so that's cool. All right, just as we are wrapping up, Mesmee, what are you most, like you said, you're interested in like plants and that sort of thing. What else are you looking to see Upland come through with as far as developments in that next year? What's the big ticket items on your list?
I gotta tell you, the I was shocked out of my mind the other day. One of the most, I find this very embarrassing, and I don't know why I'm so embarrassed, because I kind of feel like it's Upland's fault. But when I started, I'm a researcher, right? I taught college. I research things, right? So I did so much research, looking at everything when I got started, and no matter what I did, I could not figure out what available on web meant. When I would click on a property and it said available on web, I kept thinking, what web? And so I thought that maybe it was like a secret Discord group where people listed their properties. And so I was like, I go to look in Discord, couldn't find it. Then I kept typing in upland.com, and that didn't work. And then eventually I finally somehow managed to get on upland.me. There's no properties. What are your what? And I read the whole website. Nowhere did it tell me that there was a whole separate game that you can play on the interwebs that doesn't involve the app. I had the app.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I didn't know that there was a Play Upland Me, and it took me almost a year to find Play Upland Me, because there was no button. When you went to Upland's webpage, there was no button that says, click this button, and it's going to take you to the game on the interwebs. Well, you know what? Last week I saw,
what?
There's a big ass button.
Nice.
And it'll take you to the game on the interwebs. I couldn't believe it.
It's a very good point. Like I said, I've been playing for 3 years. Jesus, you must be coming up on 2.
March, 2 years.
Yeah, there's so much in that time period. There's so much implied knowledge that's been built in. Like, imagine being a new player coming in now. So hopefully this new chat function, that's going to help solve a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, yeah,
and no matter what, ask questions. Ask.
Well,
even if
you know what though?
dumb.
I was not going to ask. I wasn't going into that new visitor room, and I'll tell you why. When I did a bunch of research and I was trying to figure out how everything worked, and I still feel this way today, I would go into the Upland General Discord room, and there was nothing but bitching, moaning, groaning, complaining, anger, rage, bitterness.
Yes.
And I'm like, right. I don't want any part of this. I don't want any part of this. So I wasn't going to go to the new player chat one, because I figured, so that's why I didn't. And I still, to this day, I check the general probably once a week. And I would say 95% of the time I close it and go, this is why I never come in here.
Go to the cafe is a tiny bit more friendlier, not much, but a tiny bit more friendlier. But yeah, I totally see what you mean with that. There are a lot of trolls in general. Sometimes I go in there just to try to brighten the mood in there. Like if I see them fudding, I'll start trying to like change the subject and put better stuff to talk about, or I'll start talking about like the stuff that they put out, yada yada, and it'll change slowly. It'll start to go to the positive, and then I'll take my leave. But yeah, that's yeah.
Now I hang out when I'm on Discord, usually I'm hanging out with my node peeps, because or I'm doing private messaging between other people that I've made quote unquote friends with.
Yeah.
And I just stay away from it. But I mean, as a new player, I think you're going to go to the general tab to see what people are talking about. Yeah. And I remember, I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Radish, but it was one of the OGs had put something on Twitter one time. It said, it was when the market was crashing, and they were like, hey, what are you doing? Are you holding? Are you selling? Are you getting out of the game? You staying in, kind of a thing on Twitter. And I wrote, well, every time I go in general, I want to close my account and just stop playing altogether. And the reply was, so what are you going to do? I'm like, stop reading general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I smack cheese all the time. Stop, putting your hand in the fire. Just stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know you're going to burn yourself.
Sometimes
we've got
it bites
lots to complain about. I mean, it's not that there isn't things to complain about. It really, if I swear to God, how many more months do I have to go before my ghost property shows up on the map? I mean, I'll bitch about that for hours. But in general, I think that there is a bitch here section on Discord. Come over here and complain all you want, but the general tab cannot be a place where people just go in and complain. It just can't be. It's not good for new players.
It's not.
And it's not good for community.
It's not. And they try to keep it, like, if they see people continuing, they'll put them on timeout. They'll put them, like, it's become an in thing. Oh, I got timed out in Upland. Oh, I'm so cool. I've noticed, and I'm just like, how old are we, people? Come on.
Grow up. Yeah.
God, this is like an adult game with real money. Like, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, I'm a day trader, right? So, like, people, like, the only time people will talk bad about a stock is when they're shorting it, and I short, so I'm one of the evil ones. But there's no way you could really short Upland. You put money in there, and
there's plenty of people who are trying.
Yeah, like, there's no way. There's no possible way you can make money by Upland failing, unless you invest in the actual stock of it. So it's like, you want to sell your account, you want to make some money, hang out with the right people, stop hanging out with fudders, stop, like, there's some places that you go to, some Discords that are dedicated to just shitting on their investment. Like, and it is, whatever you put money into is your investment. And if you want to make anything of it, stop hanging out with those people,
Yes. Well, Mesmee's got the perfect name, the Sunrise Node. That offers a lot of promise, and that's very motivational. And
so it's Mesmee.
Well, yeah. So when I created it, it was me, meaning I.
Yeah. And
SME is subject matter expert.
Mesmee.
So me, I'm a subject matter expert. But everybody started calling me Mesmee. I'm like, that sounds so much nicer than Mesmee.
I like both of them. I like them both.
Nice. All right. Well, it definitely sounds like you got a lot going on there, and we'll definitely get you back on, especially your inputs in, like Cheese mentioned, with some of these roundtable things that we're setting up to do. It's always good to get.
Yeah, but can I drink beer?
Yes,
absolutely,
dude. We've had somebody smoke weed on here.
Yeah. It's 7 a.m. for me, so there's no beer drinking here, but absolutely, it's, what is it, lunchtime for you guys?
2:10 right now.
Oh, there you go. It's definitely beer o'clock.
Time means nothing to me.
Time means nothing. I love it.
You can't drink beer all day unless you get started right away.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
And just FYI, like, I think you're great. I love laid back people who like speak their mind. They have an opinion on something. They're not afraid to say it, stick to it. You could DM me with any questions you have. I am here to help. I tell everybody my DMs are open. Even if you want to ask for ideas, vent, or whatever, that's what I'm here for.
Oh, we love the straightforward nature like that. Sorry, Mesmee, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that's great. And again, I wish that I could control it. It's just who I am. I'm a very blunt person.
That's good.
I'm a very nice person, and a lot of people see it's because you're a New Yorker that you don't mind my blunt. I spent some time living in Maine and New Hampshire, where you can't get there from here, and they didn't mind my bluntness. West Coasters, they're like, "Why are you so mean?" I'm really not. I'm just very, very straightforward. So
I'd rather you tell me what's on your mind than like I have to pretend. I have to try to guess it. A lot of people in my family are like that. I can't, I have foot and mouth disease. If I'm thinking of something, you're going to know it now rather than months down the line. And I hate it when people bring stuff up, poor Ben, something bothers me. I'm like, Ben, And he's like, "Uh-oh, what did I do? I'm sorry."
Yeah, but we air it out and we get it done. Like
out.
Mesmee and my DMs, that was a classic example. Like, imagine if Mesmee had have got that mix up and just walked away thinking, "Oh, Ben's he's a prick."
Yeah, he's a
but it was sorted out within a couple of minutes. So
yeah, that's perfect.
Yes. And thank you, Ben, for not being. I mean, you were very kind about it too, because I was like, this is not okay.
I was just fucking confused. I was like, what the fuck? I was too confused to be mean. Yes. Yeah. I'm like, we do get crazy at times, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's mostly just talking about like skinning people and using their skin for lampshades and blankets.
I was so apologetic, and I felt so awful because I was like, okay, well, I just screwed up this relationship.
No, Ben is Australian, so he kind of likes. Well, you don't like in your face, but you appreciate it because, like, I'm personally of the feeling that I'd like to solve something now more than later.
Well, I had a meeting at work at my real life job yesterday, and I was like, no, you need to be direct and honest with me. Obviously, my face is going to be, I don't like it. It'd be fucking weird if I liked it. But
wait, what did you say to me once? You were like, I hate it when you what did you say? It was so perfect. I hate it when you tell me things, but I appreciate it. Like the way you said it was so perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it'd be weird if you liked bluntness. If you enjoyed it, it'd be kind of weird. But it's, it's one of those things. Yeah, those conversations have to happen. So, yeah. No, I'm very looking forward to seeing what you got going on in Sunrise, and definitely interested to find out more. And like I said, I got so many other projects on the go that, I'd like to be actively involved, but it's just not a realistic option. But I can absolutely 100% commit to, always looking after that sort of things as far as, whether I do build those out or whatever. Now, we have had other node projects where perhaps I've got properties in a certain area and you've got members that want to shuffle properties around. Yeah, totally open to anything like that. And one of the things that you will find as a node manager is eventually you will sell out. Eventually you will run out of the supply that you can pass on to new members. I have been accused in the past of just going and gobbling up all these properties to just sit on them and flip them. But people can look at that from the wrong angle. There's a stock of, I don't even know how many I've got there, 100 properties or whatever it may be, but those aren't going anywhere. That's a solid foundation that can be filtered to you as you need them, sort of thing. So, yeah.
Right. And not properties that will just sit there for life because a player bought it and then they don't play anymore. And now they're just empty property. So
yes, there's not many players out there that are more active than Cheese and I. So yeah, absolutely. If my properties go dormant, it's because I got hit by the bus.
Oh,
literally.
Stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Cheese.
You're such a downer.
Well, turn it around. Wrap us up.
You're so proud of yourself.
Wrap us up on something positive, Cheese. There you go. Over to you. Take it away, Cheese.
I got nothing. Stay fresh, Cheese.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk Whine and Cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Evil empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off your drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Evil empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the drive. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil empire, samurai, riding on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine
Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the metaverse, do you? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We've got saunas to fire you up and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.